Welcome back to the show where a Weeb Kid steals clips from Crunchyroll and calls it original content. I'm Ted, and this is my closet. I recently heard about this anime fighting game called Dengeki Bunko. I checked the roster and found a character named Rentaro Satomi. I did some digging and found out that he is a character in a show called Black Bullet. The show is about a parasitical virus that wipes out a good chunk of humanity in the year 2021. That sounds familiar.
Hey, I've seen this one. This is a classic.
What do you mean you've seen this? It's brand new.
If you are exposed before you are born to the Gastrea virus, you will gain superpowers and automatically become a girl. So, pretty good trade-off. Rentaro is a civil officer who has been told to investigate a case where blood is dripping from the ceiling below a floor. Civil officers usually work in partners, and so, of course, he's asked, "Where's your partner?" Turns out he yeeted her off the back of a shopping cart. Apparently, 2 of their armed men had gone in earlier, and neither of them they've heard back from. Turns out they just didn't want Rentaro taking all the glory for, not dying. He kicks in the door as a desperate attempt to save them and finds out that he's too late. This man took out the Gastrea virus. Yay! But he also killed those innocent officers. Rentaro gets angry and lunges at the man, letting every single one of his attacks get red. Eventually, he lands a devastating kick on that dude's head and snaps it back like 180 degrees. But then... I love how he just keeps talking on his phone and entirely forgets that he was an owl for a little bit. Meanwhile, the chick that is supposedly his fiancée is just kind of sprinting to get to him. Then she's stopped by this man that's just covered in blood and scars, and he goes, "Help," and she's like, "Look, what's happening to you? We can't do anything about that. What are your last words? Because I'm gonna have to kill you right now." She doesn't do it fast enough, and he transforms into a spider thing. And then this happens. What? It's webs. What else would it be? She gets yeeted into a fence this time, which has to be more comfortable than the pavement. So, that's a plus. It definitely hasn't been like 5 weeks since I started filming this episode and just got around to actually realizing that I should probably get it done. Definitely not. Nope, you're looking into things extremely wrong. Rentaro and some other random police officer go to where Enju, that's the name of the girl, is, and find out that she's fighting a Gastrea. The normal police officer, shoots him with a gun. Imagine having normal bullets in your gun, bro. I prefer black bullets, because they actually do damage to the, Gastrea virus. They're made out of vibranium. Vibranium, sorry. After Rentaro is out of ammo, Enju finally stands up and saves his ass. Then, after the battle is done, they explain some stuff to the other officer, like the fact that Enju is Rentaro's initiator, and then Enju kisses him on the lips. That'll be a lot weirder later. Enju reminds Rentaro of a sale, and they go to get bean sprouts. I mean, it's beans. Also, I forgot to mention that there are massive vibranium towers in the middle of the city. So, that's just to keep the Gastrea out. But as you can see, it doesn't freaking work that well. Then it cuts to Rentaro being scolded by this chick named Kasara. She is the head of the president of the civil officer, community, whatever, and she was talking to him about leaving to get bean sprouts instead of getting compensation from the freaking police. She is 100% a tsundere. She even says she said the thing. Do you know the thing? The thing. You really thought that just because you insulted me, I wouldn't still find that totally sexy? Ha! You underestimate my weebiness. She is having a very hard time running the company, which, I mean, makes sense because the one person that you have in it is just kind of not doing his job correctly. And then Rentaro suggests that she puts on a maid outfit and hands out flyers. And look, I'm not saying it's a good idea. I'm saying it's a brilliant idea and would absolutely work. Then he goes to an abandoned school to find the scientist lady. And the scientist lady exists and is surprisingly sexy for a scientist lady. And then she says this.
君はエッチで怠け者で弱虫の上に射撃の腕も悪い。なんでまだ自殺してないんだ?
That is 100% something that you would hear on Xbox voice chat. Also, we learned that Rentaro likes Kasara, which I mean, obviously. But then they find out that the reason that they can't find the source of the Gastrea virus is because it might have gotten some sort of optical camouflage so that it can't really be seen easily. And if so, that could be a big problem because if we can't locate it, then we can't take it out. Then there's a scene with Enju and Rentaro eating dinner made entirely of bean sprouts. And then this happens.
食べる前に
なんだ回覧板は回したぞ。
だからそうじゃなくて
ああ、そうかレンタロウ、あれがいいんだな。食事にする？お風呂にする？それとも
さっさとパンツを履け!
Wow, I sure do hope that that won't suddenly become incredibly weird. Then they do some hard drugs, namely one that she has to take daily for some reason. It probably does something like amplifies her powers or stops it from killing her. And then she's like, now that our daily routine is complete, there's only one activity left for us to do. And then he's like, yep, good night. And then the next day they have this conversation.
淑女の誘いに乗らないとはレンタロウは何なのだ。
淑女ってのは慎み深く思慮深い。そしてお前の胸はぺちゃんこだ。
I wonder why she's flat. There must be an explanation somewhere, and I definitely hope that it's not creepy and weird. And then they have this conversation.
大人の女性と恋愛できないレンタロウみたいな残念な人間も多いと聞く。お兄ちゃん、エンジュに愛のお注射してとか、こんなのが大好きなんだろうレンタロウは。
頼むから俺を冥府魔道に誘うな。
Enju, please inject me with your shot of love. Lord, forgive me for what I'm about to do.
ああレンタロウ、この際だからわらわのクラスに編入してこないか？
無茶言うな。
じゃあわらわが6年後高校2年生になるまで留年して待ってろ。
23歳の高校生はいろいろやべえだろ。
Wait, if he'll be 23 in 6 years, and she would have to fail he would have to fail 6 times for her to be in her class, then that means that he is 16 and she's 10. I wonder who it is.
FBI, open up!
Now I have to make an executive decision on whether I should keep watching the show or go to heaven. My ass is getting condemned anyway. So overall opinions on the episode, I think it was, or the show as a whole, it's pretty good. I think it'll probably add to some interesting things. I want to find out who that nigga with the owl neck was, you know. Just a lot of genuinely promising points, as well as some likable characters. So, this has been Ted. See ya.